Hi, I'm Smoking Elk, and today we are cooking a lamb shoulder on the Braaiman Braai. Oh yes, today is going to be a good day. We have a glorious lamb shoulder, bone-in lamb shoulder that we've got from Philip Warren Butchers. We're going to be cooking it nice and low and slow on the Braaiman Braai. We're going to be using sekelbos wood from Braai UK. The idea is we're going to create a nice low oven effect in the braai. The lamb is going to sit on a bed of rosemary. It's going to have some nice spices rubbed over it. It's going to sit on a bed of rosemary in the braai for several hours, 6, 7, 8 hours, I don't know. It's all an experiment. It's all new to me. We're going to give it a go. We're going to see where it takes us. But one thing I can guarantee is it's going to be bloody delicious. So let's get straight to it. So here is the braai from the Braaiman. Absolute unit. You may have seen it in a few of my other videos, but we're going to be using this. We're going to get a fire on the go in the ember maker here. We're going to get a bed of coals here. We're going to sit a load of rosemary on this shelf. Lamb shoulder's going to sit above it. We're hoping that it's going to get nice smoky flavour. We're going to cook it nice and low and slow until it's ready to pull apart. So let's get the fire lit. We're going to be using this lovely sekelbos wood from Braai UK. This stuff is amazing. It burns hot and it burns long and it burns clean. So we're going to be starting the fire in there. Once we've got some embers, we're going to start moving them over. We're going to keep one or both of the doors shut. I don't know yet. I mean, I've not done a nice slow cooking this before, so we're going to experiment. It's all a bit of an experiment, but that's the fun of barbecue. We get to play with fire. This is going to be a good day. And to help with today's cook, I'm going to be using the meter block from Meter wireless meat probes. We're going to stick one of these into the lamb shoulder. It's going to give us the temperature. It's going to give us the internal temperature of the lamb, but it's also going to give us the ambient temperature around the lamb, so we know exactly what temperature we're cooking at in the braai. We know whether to up the heat, lower the heat. This is going to help us monitor that throughout the day. We're going to connect this up, get the lamb rubbed up. We're going to stick this in. We're going to set the app up. We're going to set the cook up and just enjoy the day. So first things first, we want to get ourselves a fire going. So we've got the smaller pieces of sekelbos in the ember maker. We've got a few bits of kindling in there and some fire lighters. We've just lit that, so we're going to let that start to flame up, start to flare up, get a little fire on the go, and then we're going to start building this stuff on top of it. So we've got some rosemary here that I've just clipped from the garden. Just give it a wash. The lamb shoulder is going to sit on this in there. Okay, so we need to stick some flavour on the lamb. What we're going to do, going to make a rub marinade. When I did my World Outdoor Cook Challenge last year, one of the standout dishes was a dish called lamb shua from Oman. Just the flavour of all the spices, lemon, garlic, rubbed all over the lamb. Traditionally, they would cook it in banana leaves and they put it in an underground oven and it would just slow cook until the lamb falls apart. We're going to be doing this on the braai on the rosemary leaves. But the marinade, honestly guys, you have to try this. It's absolutely fantastic. So let's start to put that together. So cumin first. You want about half a tablespoon of cumin, and the same with coriander, about half a tablespoon. You want half a tablespoon of sweet paprika, half a tablespoon of smoked paprika. You want a good half a tablespoon, a couple of teaspoons black pepper, salt, about a good teaspoonful, nutmeg, about a quarter of a teaspoon. Turmeric, you want about half a teaspoon, maybe 3/4 of a teaspoon. You want garlic in there, about half a bulb of garlic. So there's our garlic, in that goes. Good few glugs of good quality olive oil, about 50 ml, so about 3 or 4 tablespoons. And lastly, the juice of half a lemon. And then just give that a good stir, and that is our marinade. So this beautiful lamb shoulder, we're not going to do a lot to it. All we're going to do is just score the skin. We're just going to allow the fat to render, and it's going to allow the marinade to penetrate deeper. Penetrate deeper. Did I just say penetrate deeper? I'm going to score the skin. It's going to allow the fat to render nice and slowly, and it's going to get that marinade, get that flavour into that lamb. And then all we do is just pour this all over the lamb and rub it in with your hands. It's a fantastic colour on this marinade, and the smell is intense. So we're going to get that all over the lamb, so on the underside as well. That's it, that is the lamb ready for the braai. Let's go and check out how we're getting on with the fire. Right, okay, so the first thing we're going to do is just run a little test. We're going to stick one of these probes into this manky looking potato. We're going to stick it in there and we're going to shut one of the doors or both of the doors just to get an idea of the temperature that we're going to be running at if we just keep the fire going there with no embers under here. So as I thought, the ambient temperature, not far away from where we want to be, but it's not hot enough with just the fire here, so we are going to definitely be putting some embers under here as well to get the heat up in here. It's sitting at about 75 Celsius. We want it at about 110, 115, maybe 120. So we're going to start moving these embers over here. We're going to keep this fire going. We're going to cook it with the doors shut because there's plenty of airflow to keep this fire going, as you can see. We're going to put the bed of rosemary on here and get cooking. So like I said, we're using the meter block to monitor this cook. So we're going to turn this on. Let's get one of these probes out and set up the cook. So remember, in past the line, not too close to the bone. That should do us. So that's the meter in. Let's set up the cook. The probe is in. We're going to set up the cook. Lamb. It's a lamb roast. Lamb shoulder. Recommends 54. We're not going to do that. We're going to take it to fall apart, as you can see there. So fall apart, recommends 95. Start cook. All that's left is to pop this onto its bed of rosemary, and now we're just going to lift, close the door up. 1, 2. There's still enough airflow to keep that fire burning. Let's see if I can just show you in there. You can just about see. So there's still plenty of airflow to keep that fire going without it burning too quickly. We're now just going to sit back, monitor the temperatures, top up the wood as and when it's required, and just see how we go. But hopefully this is going to turn out to be a right treat. So quick update, we've had to change plans and we've ditched the bed of rosemary because it was starting to catch. Which I thought might happen, but I was hoping it wouldn't. It was nice and wet, and we did have the coals around the outside, but it still caught, so we've ditched that idea. Probably a stupid idea. So anyway, we've now put a pan underneath the lamb shoulder. The lamb shoulder sat on a shelf above. Fire's roaring, starting to build a good load of embers in there. Happy days. Let's give you a quick update as to where we are. Fire still burning there. Lots of embers on the go in here. Got lovely temperature in here now. We're running at about 100 Celsius. And there is the lamb shoulder, sizzling away. Lovely colour, smelling beautiful. It's going well. We've chucked in a cheeky bit of gammon to make use of the heat in the braai. So we're going to cook that today as well. But yeah, the lamb shoulder, it's coming along nicely. Currently at 60 degrees internal, 60 degrees Celsius. So we're going to pop this, going to let this carry on burning. Pop the lids, the doors back shut, and check in again soon. We're about 3 hours in and the smell is amazing. We're going to stick some onions and some peppers and some chilies into the embers. We're going to make a kind of charred pepper, onion, chili sauce, a bit of garlic and a couple of chilies. That's all I've got. I'd normally go for more chilies, but we use some lazy chilies or some chili flakes or whatever. So we're going to let those roast in the embers. Going to top up the fire, but yeah, we're looking good. So here's our cold roasted onions, peppers, chilies, garlic. Onion is nice and soft. We're just going to peel these off, chop them up, and then I think we're going to stick them underneath the lamb and let all that lamb fat drizzle on them before we make a sauce. So there's our cold roasted veggies. We're going to put them into that fat, and we're just going to sit these under the lamb just to add an extra dimension of feel to our sauce. So these have been cold roasted and then sat under the lamb, getting some of that lamb fat. We're going to turn it into a sauce. So we're going to add in a tin of chopped tomatoes. Like I said, I didn't have many chilies in the house, so we've had to make do. I've got these lazy chilies, which are good in a hurry, so we're just going to get some of those in there. Bit of sumac, about half a teaspoon, and of course salt and cracked black pepper. We'll probably finish it off with a squeeze of lemon as well. So just give that a good stir. We're going to pop it back in the braai just to finish up cooking, and then we're going to blend it. So we've been going for 8 hours, which is there or thereabouts for how long I would expect a lamb shoulder to take if I was doing it in, say, a Kamado Joe. So let's see how we're doing, but the internal temperature is reading about 92, 93, so we're going to probe it, just test it and see whether we're happy with it. Let's pull it out and take a closer look. So here is how we're looking. Got a bit of a bark formed on there. Feels nice and soft, smells amazing. So we're just going to start probing it and see if we're happy. You want it to go in nice and easily, just like that. No resistance at all there with the probe, that's going straight through. So yeah, I'm happy with that. So we're going to take it off, we're going to let this rest probably for an hour, and then we're going to cut it up, pull it, stick it in some flatbreads. So next up I'm going to show you how we do the flatbreads. This is a nice simple flatbread recipe. It's 500 grams of flour, 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 teaspoons of sugar, a packet of fast action yeast, 3 tablespoons of olive oil and 300 ml of warm water, mixed and kneaded for 10 minutes, allowed to prove for about an hour and a half, and then just rolled out into flatbreads. Flatbread on top, on the grill, just like that. And then if you watch, you'll start to see some bubbles forming, which is exactly what we're after. Once the bubbles start forming, we'll have a look underneath. Make sure it's not burning, but you want to get a little bit of colour on there. Flip it, same on the other side, and done. So you can see now, starting to get the bubbles appearing. Lovely bubbles forming on there. So let's have a quick look. Flip, yeah. Lovely. Looking good so far. You can see it again, starting to rise there. That is a good sign. We've got more heat here, not enough here, so we're going to do something about that for the next one. And there we go. There's the flatbread. So there we are, guys. 8.5 hour slow smoked shoulder of lamb, cooked in the braai from the Braaiman, cooked over sekelbos and camel doring, fire going all day, moving the embers around to keep a nice steady temperature. Use the meter block, and that's given me the ambient temperature and the internal temperature of the lamb. We've taken the lamb off at about 93, 94 Celsius. This told me that we were running pretty much at about 110, 115 Celsius in the braai all day, which is fantastic. We've done some homemade flatbreads, and we've got this coal roasted pepper, onion and chilli sauce. So cannot wait. This is just resting. As soon as it's rested, we're going to pull this apart, we're going to stick it in there, we're going to stick some of that on, and we're going to get it all in my gob. Happy days. So it's been resting. We literally cannot wait anymore. The smell is amazing. We're just going to get our hands in and pull this apart. So let's take this bone out first. Out comes the blade, the shoulder bone. Let's just rip in and have a look. Oh yes. My dog has just come running out here. He obviously can smell it. But let me just grab the camera to show you what we're dealing with here. So you can see here exactly how juicy this is. So look at this, it's literally just falling apart. Got a lovely bark here, juicy, soft. I mean, just look at that. We have done all right. The braai has performed perfectly. So you've got nice crispy bits of bark that we want to mix throughout. So just pull it, break it up, mix that just as you would with duck pancakes and crispy duck. You want that bark running along with all that meat. So we're just going to smash this up, and then we're going to bang it in a wrap, and we're going to dig in. So now we're just going to build a wrap. All I've done is I've just chopped this up, shredded it up, chopped up all the crispy bark, because the bark is where the flavour is and it's phenomenal. So you've got those crispy bits running throughout the meat. Mix it all together, so we're going to bang it in this wrap. So grab a load. I mean, look at that, you see the bark there, the crispy bits. You want that, that's your flavour. So just grab a load of this, don't be shy, chuck it in your flatbread that we've made, and we're going to bang on some of this cold roasted chilli sauce that you see me make earlier. So So just get some of that over there, a little bit more, why not? And that's all I'm going to stick in it, because I'm a nice simple guy. Meat and sauce in a flatbread. Let's go in and have a go. I've done it again. That is amazing. You get the crunchy bits of the bark. The sauce complements it really well, but the lamb smokiness, the absolute flavour bomb on that lamb, that is amazing. I'm going to take this in and I'm going to smash this in. I'm probably going to smash a couple of these in actually. So yes, you can cook low and slow on the Braai from the Braaiman. Is it the most efficient way to cook a lamb shoulder? Absolutely not. Is it fun? Yes. If you've got access to good quality wood, nice and cheap, and you want to give it a go and you like playing with fire as much as I do, then it's a fantastic way to spend your Sunday afternoon smoking away 8 hours. I mean, like I said, there are more efficient ways of cooking a lamb, but there aren't many more fun ways. So like I said, going to go in, smash a couple of these wraps. I deserve it. I've had a hangover from hell today. I've still managed to knock this up, so you've got no excuses not to do the same. I've been Smoking Elk. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next week. Happy days.